When we talk about longevity, we talk about health span, we talk about how can we make the body last longer, last better, be stronger, be more physically fit, feel better, sleep better. And there are several things that we look at. The one that's most common today in our culture are specifically life hacks. And these life hacks are designed to make the body function better. And we might have heard of them as far as cold plunge, sauna, using peptides or supplements to enhance the body's metabolic activity, recovery methods, using pulsed electromagnetic field, grounding, doing all sorts of different things that aid in our recovery and aid in making our body stronger. So I'm going to list a couple of them right here. Here are a few that I've listed, and you can see plasma exchange sauna, and this is not a complete list. There are many, many more. And they work. They really do help improve the way that the body functions, improving your health span and your lifespan. But in and of themselves, it's not enough. The overall functionality of the body rests on a foundation that this just serves as the icing on the cake. So I'll show you what that foundation is. This is the real foundational component, and it's part of the DREAM protocol. We talk about diet, rest, energy, which you can see up here, anatomy of movement, and mental resilience. And those 5 components really prepare the body and make the body functionally able to have longevity and health span. The icing on the cake works only if there is a cake. If there's no cake, if there's nothing to sit on, it doesn't matter. You can't skip your sleep, eat a poor diet, and not have a good anatomy of fitness and overcome it or make it better by working on life hacks. Life hacks only work when you have the foundational principles set in stone. And those foundational principles provide the majority of what it is. So if you go back to your geometry and your overall algebra, I mean, you're not going to have to do an equation today, I'll show you here. But if we look at this from an area perspective, if we look at this from an area perspective, 20-25% of the result, 30% of the result is going to be from the life hacks. The majority, 70, 75, 80% of the result is going to be your basic foundational function. And these foundational functions all put together will create a healthier lifespan for you. And there's nothing you can do to overcome it, your health span. This is so important because all of these functions, the diet, the rest, the energy production, the overall anatomy of fitness, and your mental resilience, they provide you with a basic ability to produce the energy you need for healing and repair. And this is where most of, if not all of the health span and lifespan results come from. It's how well can you rebuild and repair. Your body has energy needs every single day. There's a certain amount of energy we need to beat our heart, to breathe, to digest, to do all of our basic life functions. If we exhaust that supply of energy before we have and engage in any rebuilding or repairing, your body isn't repairing and you're decaying. And that decay is cumulative over time. Only leftover energy is used to rebuild and repair. The overall energy uses of the body are going to be what's your immediate today need to survive. And then if there's leftover, it's going to be used to rebuild and repair. So the basic foundational principle of longevity and health span relies on this. And you can see here that I wrote down the word mitochondria. At a basic functional level, if you have healthy mitochondria, your body will be able to rebuild and repair, assuming you're giving it opportunity with your diet, your rest, your overall exercise energy, your anatomy of fitness, and mental resilience. And we key in on anatomy and fitness as the primary pinnacle when we look at our ability to have longevity and health span. And the reason we do that is because we know that muscle is the currency of health span and longevity. And you can't have a physically fit body unless you have good, adequate diet. You can't have a physically fit body unless you have good healthy rest and repair, energy production, mental resilience, all of these then are used by the body to maintain good healthy posture, maintain good muscle mass, maintain a leanness, maintain flexibility, stability, and mobility essentially. And this is the pinnacle. The same way that you have to have good tires on a car and good fuel and good spark plugs for the car to go fast. The measurement of how healthy a car is might not be the speed of a car. You want to look at all the components, but when everything is together, can that car go quickly and reliably? Same thing with the body. Our diet isn't going to be just one component that we measure and that's it, or our ability to have stamina and energy, or our ability to have mental resilience or recovery. What we measure it on is our anatomy of fitness. What is our posture like? How's our movement? How's our range? How's our strength? How's our endurance? And that really is the pinnacle. And all of these point back to the same area, right? So our energy, our mental resilience, our recovery, and our diet. And this is why we spend so much time in our office delivering chiropractic adjustments, encouraging patients to exercise, working on dietary interventions, and making sure that the body has the physical ability to exercise and move. Because if you can't exercise and move because of pain, because of joint restriction, because of some sort of neurological or neuromusculoskeletal problem, everything falls apart. If you have a car that has great tires and good fuel and everything else, but you can't drive it for whatever reason, nothing else really matters. And the anatomy of fitness is how you drive your body. Nobody wants to live long if you can't live healthy, but if you can live healthy, we all want to live long. So don't focus your work on health hacks unless you're already maximizing the entire bottom of the pyramid. Don't focus all in one area unless you're really faulting in one area, diet or your rest or whatever it is. But dial up a triage and say, okay, well, what do I want to do next? Or what do I want to do first? And these are things that we help guide you with. You can figure them out on your own or hire a professional. I recommend hiring a professional. Anytime I have something important in my life to do, I hire a professional because I don't have time or money to waste on mistakes. And you probably don't either. I hope this was a good explanation for you on longevity and health span. I do consider myself to be an expert in this field as it is growing more and more and more. I've been studying it for over 3 decades, and it is a very simple field. You work on your diet, you work on your exercise, you work on your mental resilience, you work on your rest and recovery, you work on your energy production, and all of this manifests with a healthy anatomy that will then spring you forward. And then we can talk about adding in some life hacks. These are things that I do and I recommend for you, but you have to get your foundation done